Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This is my guest. Her name is Stacy, but she goes by the name Trash Carcass. Say hi, Stacy.
Hello, everybody.
So, for those of you who are wondering, we did have another guest lined up, but he just informed me that he cannot make it. So, I had already made this slide and I was already advertising, and so I was like, "Oh my god, what am I going to do?" So, but I decided to go ahead anyway, and just was sort of spamming all of my vegans. Who's available to come on? And Stacy said, "Oh, come on." So I said, "Great. All right." So thank you so much for being like totally at the last minute.
No,
You
thank you
guys
for calling.
see how beautiful she looks? Anyway, just at the last minute, just like threw herself together to be on camera. So today we're going to be talking about a bunch of things. Anything you want to ask us, we are here to answer. And we're going to be talking about what's new. What is new in veganism? What's going on with Palestine and Israel? If you guys have any questions or comments, we are not experts on the matter, but Stacy was just telling me before we went on that she's been doing some activism on Facebook and, just getting into the conversation there and realizing that intersectionality is still a big topic. Do you want to talk a little bit about, Stacy? And of course, we know you're not an expert in anything. You're just giving your own personal opinion.
Yeah.
But what did you notice in Facebook recently when you went back? You haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, I went back on, and lately the conversation has been bringing back up the whole um, issue about the controversy of whether, as a vegan activist, we should be using the word Holocaust when we describe what happens to the animals. And of course, with what's going on between Israel and Palestine right now, it kind of collides. I think it does.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of contention around using the word with some intersectional vegans, and well, that's a video I made about intersectionality. I mentioned in there is that what the animals are going through is a Holocaust. There is a difference between the Holocaust and a Holocaust, and if you look up the definition of a Holocaust, it would be like a burnt sacrifice or burnt offering on an altar. This is something, or a mass slaughter, mass destruction or slaughter. And I mean, we slaughter over 70 billion land animals alone just for food every year. I would say the altar is our barbecue pits and our stovetops. That's where, the burnt offering, we often describe them giving their lives as for a meal as a sacrifice that they make. So it's like it fits the definition. But there's still a lot of people that say, it's insensitive, it's anti-Semitic, it hurts people's feelings. Um, I just find it really funny because right now with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that's happening again, and it's been happening for a long, long time, over and over again, they have it has been quiet for quite a while now. But I've been saying for over a decade, free Palestine. When I did it back then, I was accused of hating Jews. And now, these intersectionals are all jumping on the bandwagon, free Palestine. BLM even made a statement about free Palestine, while they're telling us, it's insensitive to use word Holocaust. They're telling us that they're calling the state of Israel terrorists, which I just think is really, really ironic. So there's been a lot of that conversation coming up once again. So
Right. So do you find that most of the vegan animal rights activists that you encounter are siding because I would think that most people would be kind of neutral on that issue because it's not really directly to do with veganism. But of course, everyone's human and they all have all kinds of opinions on everything. For example, I have a really strong opinion that circumcision is child abuse, whether it's female or male. And, I too have been accused of being anti-Semitic because of that, but it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the rights of the child to not be sexually assaulted, mutilated permanently. So it's unfortunate when that happens, but I'm curious as to why you felt so strongly about Palestine being free. And do you yourself relate this to veganism? Or what is your view on it? Because
Well, I guess I kind of, I used to get into politics a lot, like right before I even became vegan. I started diving into politics pretty deeply.
Okay.
And, I felt that what's going on in Palestine is basically they're taking their land and it's an open air prison, it seems like. I also watched a movie, and if anybody gets a chance to watch this, it was called Five Broken Cameras. It was actually put out and co-produced by, I believe it was a professor in Israel.
Okay,
Um,
I'm just writing that down. If my head's down, I'm
yeah,
still listening. I'm just taking notes sometimes.
that's fine.
Five broken cameras. Okay, I guess
Five.
that's a while back.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that. I don't remember
Okay.
when it came out. I'd have to look that up again. But
Okay, was
I
that
just
is that a documentary? And it was
it
sort of
is.
siding or showing Palestinian side. Is that it?
Yeah, it was actually done by a Palestinian man, and it relates to, or it re, it's referring to the five cameras he went through while
Uh,
um, um,
trying.
documenting what was going on
Oh, okay.
where he lived in Palestine.
Okay.
And it was so impactful that there was actually a Jewish professor, I believe, that he ended up co-producing it and showing it to his students in Israel.
Okay. I just
Um,
want to take a second just to acknowledge the donation here. Thank you so much to Unstoppable, who says you're awesome. And I'm assuming that he's talking about you because you're the one doing the
no,
talking.
they're
But well,
talking
anyways,
about you. You are
you
awesome, Miss Katie.
yeah, you are doing a lot of amazing things. So we want to just we're going to get back to some controversial stuff, but just quickly talk about your channel and what you're doing with this amazing new series you have.
Yeah. So I didn't really know what direction to go in when I started my channel, and I'm not really great at production. So since I've always wanted to travel, and with us like not being able to really do anything during the pandemic, or travel, I haven't been on vacation in 2 years because of it. But um, I I just thought, you know what, maybe I'll start interviewing people, vegans from around the world, and it was actually inspired by I was doing a Cube of Truth. It was the National Cube of Truth in Mexico. I think it was in 2018, and in Mexico City, Mexico. And
For those of you who don't know what a cube of truth is, do you want to just quickly tell them that?
sure, uh, I'm with a group called Anonymous for the Voiceless, and what we do is called a Cube of Truth. And what we do is a demonstration where essentially we stand in a cube formation, wearing masks, standing the people in the cube stand there holding televisions
So
and
facing
signs.
outward, facing in a back to back each other, and then holding
Yeah,
TVs with documentaries showing what's going
it's
on.
kind of like a performance, so kind of like a
Performance art.
yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
performance art.
Okay, we're
It's to
doing.
grab it's to grab the people's interest,
Yeah.
visually, and bring them in. We don't go after people. We wait for them to come to us, and if they're interested, we have conversations and we outreach them about veganism and about what they're seeing on the screens. And so I was outreaching this gentleman because they have a lot of tourism in Mexico City. They have a huge population anyway. But I was talking to this gentleman who happened to be from Italy, and his fiance, I think she was from the Netherlands, and they were travel bloggers. And so they travel all over, and he just got really frustrated with the conversation. And he finally just said to me, "Well, you can't be vegan in Mongolia."
Right.
Trying to say that, it's not fair to ask people to be vegan.
Right.
Well,
Josh, I'm just so sorry, but I just want to acknowledge when there's a donation on screen and it's
sure.
moved away because I'm sorry to cut you off. I really am, but I don't want this person to feel ignored because they gave a donation of $2 and they're asking the question, can I eat my own backyard eggs? So do you want to address that? And then we'll continue with your story right after.
Sure. Well, I would ask you, are they yours? Or actually, are they somebody else's? Because you're saying your backyard eggs. It's not your backyard eggs.
Yeah,
It's
I
your,
think the way it was worded was my chicken had eggs.
yeah. But they're still, the point is they're still not your eggs.
Right.
The thing is that in naturally, hens in the wild would lay 12 to 15 eggs per year. they're now so genetically manipulated that they tend to lay an egg per day. That's like 300 eggs a year. And that takes a lot out of their bodies. That would be, and I don't know how old this person is that asked this question, but if you're old enough to menstruate, it would be, if you're a female, it would be like having your period every single day of your life. And you know how that can take it out of you. So unfortunately, it breaks down their bodies. It really puts a lot of stress on them. You can get, they can insert something into the hens to keep them from laying so many eggs. That would help them and their health. But by taking the eggs, that makes them want to lay more eggs, and it really hurts them.
And basically, we believe that eggs belong to whoever laid them, and the milk that comes from the body belongs to the body who produces the milk. And if you just look at it that way, you will know that you shouldn't be taking honey from bees, and you shouldn't be taking fur from animals. You shouldn't be taking milk from cows. And you shouldn't be taking eggs from chickens or ducks or geese or swans. And
it's not ours to take. They're not giving it to us. Yeah.
If they lay an egg, just leave it alone, and they will figure out what to do with their egg.
Sometimes they will even consume it themselves, and it's a good way for them to get calcium back into their bodies that gets depleted from laying so many eggs.
Yeah.
But also, I would ask, where did you get the hens, and did you buy them from a breeder? Because if you did, essentially what you, even if you think they're backyard eggs, essentially what happened to get that hen was her brothers died in a grinder.
Right, so. Because baby boy chicks are put in grinders and murdered because they will never be able to lay eggs. So it's all part of the cycle.
Yep.
So
it also gives off the impression that it's okay for us to use eggs, because guaranteed, if you consume your own hen's eggs, when you go out somewhere, you don't ask to not have eggs in your food. You're going to buy it from big companies, So.
And then what ends up happening is that you have an egg, and maybe one day you don't want your egg and you give it to your neighbor, and next thing you know, you're like, hey, wait a sec, I can make some money on this.
Yeah.
It's just best to just leave animals alone.
Leave them alone.
Yeah. Okay, so you were continuing your story. So we were just going to go back. We were jumping all over the place, as we always do. We're going to talk about Palestine, where we're on Facebook, and then we went on to the Cube of Truth and Anonymous for the Voiceless. And you were telling me about your channel because you're doing a series called Vegans from Around the World. So if anybody,
vegans across the world, yes,
across the world. So if anybody is listening and checks out Trash Carcass's channel and sees she hasn't interviewed anybody from my country yet. Maybe if you're from, I don't know, what's a tiny country? Like, I don't know.
I am actually trying to get the smaller places first.
Yeah.
The harder places first.
Everywhere. It's great.
So anyway, what I was saying is I was doing a Cube of Truth. I explained what a Cube of Truth is, but I was doing a Cube of Truth in Mexico City, and what inspired this kind of in 2018 was talking to this gentleman from Italy who was a travel blogger with his fiance. Said, you can't be vegan in Mongolia. First thing I did when I went back to my host house after the Cube, because I didn't know what to say to that. I didn't know if you could. I found out that they had 3 loving huts in Mongolia. And I just find it very insulting when people say other cultures or other people can't be vegan, because it's to imply that there's some kind of Neanderthal, or they're not as evolved, or that they can't have morals. You can have morals no matter where you live. And so it really upset me. So when I started my channel, I thought, well, you know what? I want to find a vegan from Mongolia. And because I had also heard this on live streams, people said, you can't be vegan in Mongolia in the comments. And I'm like, I'm going to, you can be true. There's 3 loving huts in Mongolia, but
tell people what a loving hut is. People don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Loving Hut is an international chain of restaurants. They're all over the world. The only requirement to use their name is that you are a completely vegan menu and that you play the Supreme Master Television. Now, the Supreme Master Television is just a spiritual. I think we talked about this on your last.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a spiritual TV. It's like 24-hour TV. You don't have to watch it if you go into order food. It's just what they ask for you to play. It's just the 2 requirements to be a loving hut. So anyway, I got a hold of these guys from Mongolia, and they were awesome. They were so much fun. And so yeah, so now I am up to. I did like 5 interviews this weekend. They're pre-recorded now,
That's
and so
amazing. Good job.
yeah, so they come out every Wednesday on my channel. So
Okay.
far, I've Ghana, Mongolia, Puerto Rico, Sweden, Malta. Who else? Canada. Well, that's next week is coming out. Canada. I shouldn't have said that.
Who do you have from Canada?
Well, that's the thing. I don't tell
Oh,
people ahead of time, so that
okay.
was a spoiler.
Okay. So thank you. Just a quick, Jason, thank you. Oh, Jacob, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. I don't know what a super sticker is, but anyway, it's a sticker, I guess, and I like stickers.
It usually is where you can buy a thing like it'll be like a dancing chicken or something like that.
Oh, okay. I
But
don't
it's
know.
not showing that.
Okay. Well, we're working through StreamYard, so that's maybe something different. I don't know much about the technology. But anyway, great. So we were talking about Facebook and about different things. So you're not, so the controversial topics right now are what's going on in Israel and Palestine. And you are finding that you were saying that Black Lives Matter, you read somewhere that they took a stand, or some people did, for which side?
For Palestine, they're saying free Palestine, which, like I said, I've been saying for a decade. But but when I did, it was like people said I hated Jews because of that. Now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon free Palestine. I just find it ironic that people. This is what my post said. It said the state of woke intersectional vegans when they tell animal rights activists using the word Holocaust is insensitive and anti-Semitic, while simultaneously calling the Jewish state of Israel terrorists. I just find it very ironic,
Okay.
And even though I agree, free Palestine, I pretty much have been keeping out of it, just because I like to concentrate on animal rights now and stay out of all this politics anymore.
Okay.
But I try to stay. I have my own ideas about things, but I try to stay apolitical because I want to concentrate on the animals. That's where my energy goes. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about politics, but not that many people talking about the animals. So few of us are even vegan, and so few of those vegans are actually activists who speak out publicly. So, yeah, I tend to think that that's an important part of my activism too, is just to remember the animals. Somebody's writing here that they got bullied because I was vegan. So everyone who's watching, if you are going to write a comment like this, it really helps if you give us some context. Remember, you see us, but we cannot see you. So you know what we're wearing, you know our facial expressions. We have no idea. When you say you got bullied, Jays, does that mean 10 years ago? Are you 25 or are you 11? Or are you somebody who is 50 years old and you got bullied yesterday in your office at work? Maybe you're even a doctor or a nurse. There's all kinds of bullying. Vegan phobia is real and it is wrong. And if you do if anybody has been through vegan phobia, who's a victim of it, please write a little bit more so we can have a context in, how to address this. Trash, do you want to say anything about vegan phobia?
well, yeah, it is real because yeah, I mean it's hard even where I work at. I try to reach out to people, and I got to be careful because sometimes I get reprimanded for it. There's people that have lost their jobs for speaking up about veganism.
Now you're working in a place. Are you working like in some sort of butcher shop, or where are you working?
No, I work with dogs. I work at a dog daycare.
So how do you get reprimanded for defending animals if you work at a dog daycare? Wouldn't that just be obvious that everybody there is vegan?
Well, one time I put some brochures in the break room, and my boss went off on me and said, you can't push this veganism on people. And my other boss, who likes me, said she's not pushing it on anybody. She just put them there for whoever wants them.
Okay, so that's a little more reasonable. So thank you to Aluwai Blue. I respect animals, so I don't eat them or wear them. Yes. High five to you. High five. That's right. That's what respect
Good for
means.
you.
Means that
Can
you
I want to say something. I don't know if the person before we came on live, I did see somebody quoting a band I know, Molotov from Mexico. They're a band from the 90s. I just want to say I caught that. They were quoting a Molotov song.
Okay,
Salute. I
cool.
actually met them guys, whoever wrote that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe the person will respond or write something.
Yeah, maybe they'll say something. I want to know what it was about. So anyway.
So thank you for the donation that I just got on the screen. Thank you so much. You want to talk about this one?
I tried to be vegan once, and I never knew how hard it was. So hard, to be honest. But again, context, like Miss Katie was saying, what was hard about it? What are you saying? Was it hard because of the way other people treated you, or because of the vegan phobia, or is it because you just found it hard to make the right choices? I don't know the context, so.
Right. Did you find it hard because of where you live and you didn't live that close to a store? Yeah, it really does make a big difference. Now, personally, I think the hardest part about being vegan is the rest of the people around me who are not vegan. That's the part I find really hard. And I think a lot of people do, is when we come out of the closet as vegan animal rights activists. I mean, I have said it many times. I think we're all born vegan, just like LGBTQ people are born the way that they are, or heterosexual people are born the way they are. We are all born caring about animals. I mean, my granddaughter's 1.5 years, and I can take out all the stuffed animals, and all she wants to do is play with the stuffed animals. And then when we go for a walk, all she wants to do is see all the animals, the dogs, the cats, the squirrels, the bunnies. She is just little, and she just loves animals. And I don't think she's an exception. I think all kids
are born vegan, and then we are indoctrinated into discrimination. It's the first form of discrimination that we learn, to pet one and eat the other. So
yes, and I think
that's the first form of discrimination that we learn.
Yeah, and I love bands. Want to choose what I consume. Well, you know.
Well, it's not what you consume; it's who you consume.
You can't love animals and hurt them at the same time. You just can't. It doesn't make any logical sense. It's like me saying I love my dog Bella, but I just feel like eating her leg tonight and just chopping it off and just putting it on the barbecue. It just doesn't make sense. You don't love animals.
Well, besides the fact that they're not what, they are who. If you're talking about consuming animals,
right?
They're who.
Exactly. Language is important.
Yeah.
And that's the other day I said something, oh, you're just a chicken shit. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't say that. Because, it just,
Well, that's not an insult to the chicken. That's their shit.
Yeah, but like you start to be aware, right? Of so many of these things.
Yeah, it still slips up because we are so indoctrinated by it from
our whole life. Yeah,
that we're babies.
But being aware, trying to change, But yeah, so getting back to the person who was talking about vegan phobia, I definitely think that vegan phobia is real, because when I first became vegan, I just realized immediately this push of sort of anger, just the mere fact that you're wearing a shirt like this. This shirt here says "Animal Defender." Be brave, be vegan. Nice By the way, you were asking me off camera how I did. So this was like one of those shirts I got for 50 cents. Sorry, I'm adjusting I'm sitting on a piano bench actually to be a little bit higher. But I get shirts secondhand at garage sales or whatever. And this one said something weird. Like it said music, rock, love, or something, like some Teeny Boppers shirt. And I just took black and I just blotted it. And I just kind of covered over the thing. And then I just wrote in pink something that resonates a little bit more for me. So
what kind of paint do you use?
Just like whatever I have lying around from the dollar store. That's another thing I take out of garbages. When there's a big construction site and people put the cans, I don't want that to go in a landfill. So even if they have like that much left, that's a lot of paint for painting t-shirts, Like,
but it stays on when you wash the shirt. It stays on.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with my shirts though. Like I just put them gently. I wash the armpits and just like I don't just throw things in the dry. But yeah, I have like even still, they last pretty long.
Okay.
I don't put really things in the dryer, and I have clothes from a long time ago, and shoes and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
If they were my favorite shoes, they get worn out though. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I have clothes from 20 years ago.
I just saw, let me just see. I don't know if I'm just randomly clicking on things here. Do you want to read this?
You were born vegan, everybody, and then your parents shove animals down your throat, but then you will evolve to become vegan. Yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of like what we were saying. Everybody's born vegan, but you are indoctrinated by society and your family, and they were in turn they were indoctrinated as well. So,
Yeah.
but if you learn the truth, there's no longer an excuse. So, I mean, we're ignorant up until we're
Yeah.
given the truth, and then you need to make the decision. And you need which side of history do you want to be on? If you want to be on the right side, you need to go vegan.
Yeah, exactly. And when you don't know, it's like people say to me, like, are you upset at everybody? And I said, well, I'm not upset at everybody. If somebody does not, just really hasn't made the connection, just been eating animals all along, just like whatever, everybody's doing it, I'm sure it's fine. And it's when the people have been educated, they've actually been told what happens. And I find that vegetarians are, for me, one of the toughest ones. Because they know better.
Yes,
They know what goes on.
and they will defend it.
And that is just, to me, I don't really have words for how frustrating I find that to be, because they think they're doing a good thing and they're not eating animals, but they are paying and eating double of almost everything else.
Oh, yeah.
And I've said this before. I mean, I was vegetarian, so I know how despicable I was.
You double up on the cheese when you get rid of the meat.
And the eggs. I was eating 1-2 eggs every day. Tons of cheese on those Triscuit crackers, and double on my pizzas. And because, you just still want the fat and the salt. And so, no, it's not good enough. And when somebody really pointed that out to me, I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to be vegan, or I won't be able to live with myself. But thank God they did it. And you know what? Yeah. The only thing I'm upset about is that people weren't tougher on me. Like, why did nobody just grab me by the shoulder and say, what are you doing? You don't want to hurt animals, so why are you doing
Well, I wish somebody had told me too. Yogurt. There was nobody around. And that's why I get frustrated with people that don't speak up, because they feel like that they don't want to be pushy. But the fact is, maybe somebody just needs you to be pushy. Maybe that's what they want to hear. Absolutely. They might need to hear that. I wish somebody had told me sooner.
Yeah.
When I found out, I was upset.
Yeah, that's why there are certain people who are vegan, and they talk, and their comment sections are full of, we love you, and this is great, but it's all just vegans staying in their own circles, just spinning around with each other. And that's not helping. That's why I urge people to go onto an app like TikTok, because you get exploded out to the whole world. Random people, different ages from different country, are seeing your stuff because of the way the algorithm works. And if you have too much love in your comment section, you're doing it wrong.
It's just an echo chamber. Yeah.
You are not.
Can I show something, Miss Katie?
Sure.
So for the people saying burger in the comments, that's a vegan burger that I had the other day.
That looks so good.
It was delicious.
It looks so juicy. Oh my God.
It's missing nothing. It's missing nothing but guilt. But the guilt, that's the only thing missing.
Oh, that looks actually pretty good on camera. I'm amazed at how well you got that right centered there. That's great. Okay, there's a comment here from Alexis.
She's asking, what inspired you to become an animal rights activist, Miss Katie?
I just look, when I was vegetarian, I was, like I said, I thought I was doing good in the world. And then I was one day in Facebook, and I just like many other people, it's coming up to 5 years, by the way, on June 27th, it will be 5 years. And I was just going through seeing different things about.
Are we going to have a party online for that? For your vegan anniversary?
Okay.
You should have a big party online.
Will we be dancing? If there's dancing, I'm there. I'll miss dancing. I love dancing. But yeah, so I was just going through Facebook, and I was going through, I don't know if you know this site called the Dodo, but it's just all these happy, cute animals, little, chickens that were playing with dogs and all these things.
One of the sanctuaries near me actually was featured on there one time. So,
and then randomly in the comments, I started seeing vegan comments. Like, it was like, oh yeah, if you love this chicken so much, why do you eat one? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. There's some angry vegans in the world. And I was like, then I'd click on their account, and then I would show there was this different people saving animals, and all the vigils that I saw, and the undercover footage. And I was just like, I started to get it in my heart, in my head, all the clicks. This is why I talk about it takes 100 clicks until you become vegan. I was like, that person, and oh my God, that's what they're doing there. And oh, now I should go and see this documentary that they recommended. And oh my God, now there's this. And what about the horse racing and the greyhound racing and just all the different animals? And I was like, what do you mean can't eat honey? What? I was like, why? Oh my God, that's why. So as soon as I started realizing it all, I started realizing I was already becoming an activist even before I was fully vegan. I was like, we shouldn't be eating honey. I was like, but you have Johnny honey in your fridge right now. It's even in your hand. Yeah, I know, but we shouldn't be eating it. We're not buying this anymore. So I was like, it just happened.
Yeah, when you first learn the stuff, you get a real craving. You really want to learn more because you're like, oh my God, I didn't know this. And so you're like, what else don't I know? And when I first went vegan 15 years ago, it wasn't that easy to find the information. It wasn't that readily available, but nowadays it's so easy, and it's out there. It's in your face. Mm-hmm. And if you're not seeing it, it's because you don't want to.
Yeah.
But the information is out there.
Thank you.
That's why I get so frustrated. That's why I get so frustrated when people say stupid stuff, like ignorant stuff. It's like, seriously, you didn't know this. Because it's out there,
Yeah. Thank you for the donation. Do you make people go vegan? Be honest, please. Do you think that you do, Trash?
Me? Mm-hmm. I have had some people that have contacted me and said, yes, that they went vegan because of something I said or my post. I
have no doubt, Trash, that you are making a lot of people go vegan. But as I said, it's not just from you. They might have started on my channel and been like, veganism, what the heck does that mean? And then learn what it means, but they're like, I don't like that vegan teacher. Who else can I follow? And then they follow you, or they follow somebody else. But it's all of it. Or somebody might be like, somebody might end up on my page that makes them get the 100th click that makes them realize it. But it's all of us.
I had a guy years ago. I think it was about probably 6 years ago or more, and we were just Facebook friends, and we had just become. No, it was probably more than 6 years ago. Yeah, because I remember it was when I first moved back. So it was like 8 years ago. And we became Facebook friends out of like our mutual interest in dogs, off of a group or something. And he started seeing all my vegan posts. And he wrote to me one time, like after we'd been friends for a while on Facebook for a while, he wrote me a private message and he said, I just want to let you know, keep doing what you're doing, because I was really like, I saw all your vegan posts and I started looking into it because I thought, why is she so angry? And I thought, surely she has to be wrong about this stuff.
Right.
So I wanted to argue. I wanted to prove you wrong. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized why you were angry and that you were right. And now I'm vegan. And this was an American guy living in Thailand. That's so I sent him like 3 books. Like I was so through. I cried when he wrote that to me. But he was like, just so you know, that you do affect people.
Just isn't that amazing that it makes you feel so touched because animal rights activists work so hard, and for every compliment that you get like that, you have like 10,000 spam. I hate you. I hope you die. Fuck you. Shut up, that vegan teacher. Like there's so much negativity that it just feels so good.
But it's also you feel like you're doing more for the animals as well, because you feel like, oh, I've got one more person that's not going to harm animals.
Yeah, and you know that they're going to help somebody else be vegan. It doesn't end there, right? So it's just that feeling of this domino effect. Like, okay, go forth and make new vegans.
Yeah,
So I
because
want
I was so happy. I cried and I sent him like 3 books to Thailand, and it cost me like 40 some dollars to send these books, but I didn't care. I was just so happy.
so
And
great.
now him and his fiance are both still vegan all this time later. So
Okay, so that herbivore teacher, now if I'm not mistaken, because I have a lot of people, but this is a young lady. I'm pretty sure, I don't know her name, but I saw her on TikTok, and she was filming herself, and she was filming the YouTube channel, and she was filming herself watching me on YouTube. She's like, I do my homework, but I watch that vegan teacher in the background. And it was a weird feeling. I showed my husband, I said, like, this girl is watching me, and she has like a massive TV screen. Like, I always picture people are watching me on their little phones and just be like,
yeah.
scrolling, not paying attention. And I suddenly felt super vulnerable in her big, living room on this giant screen TV. I was like, oh my God, like, do I have spinach in my teeth? Like half the time I turn the camera on and I still haven't even washed my face. I just woke up or whatever. So
like,
anyway,
don't put me on the big screen.
Yeah, just keep it on the down low there. Okay, so how did you feel when you got banned? I recently got banned. Oh, that's too bad that you got banned. That's terrible. I've been going through Vistopia. Any advice to feel at least a little bit better? I felt terrible when I got banned because I didn't see it coming. I knew that people were ganging up on me. There had been Discord groups of like thousands of teenagers who said, now we're going to all mass report at the same time to TikTok. And so they were mass reporting weird stuff that never actually happened. Like my dog, I would film my dog and they would mass report that the video had nudity in it. It just had a dog in it on the beach.
And they don't actually check up on this stuff. They just
yeah, it was just, and I would have to send I would have to say, okay, there's no nudity, and then
we can report a dog fighting post, and they won't take it down.
It's horrific, some of it. Anyway, this went on, and there was big. They're like telling me, in 2 weeks your channel's going down. We're all gathering the troops, and we're gonna fight you. So I was like, okay, I can't do much about that.
They must be so proud.
But then it never went down the few times that they tried. And so I knew other people's channels had gone down, but they got them back by appealing. So when my channel went down, I was like, okay, well, in life, you have to, there's nothing you can do. If you have a bunch of 12-year-olds, like thousands of them that are going to report your channel, the only thing I think is that it's weird how you have to be a certain age to vote in any country, but you can, as a 12-year-old, report falsely, and like these kids don't even know what they're doing. They have no idea how many animals that they have contributed to that are now going to be killed because who had 1.7 million followers on TikTok and no longer there, because I was changing many hearts and minds of many people. So yeah, I was really, really sad for the animals. But there's nothing I can do. I appealed and I never heard back. I don't know why I was kicked off. I think they're just overwhelmed and they're just trying really hard to do whatever. I would imagine it must be hard because people report all kinds of crazy stuff. So it was really something, but I just
it's a form of cyberbullying. When they do stuff like that, that's just cyberbullying. I mean, they must be so proud of themselves.
Yeah, it's a shame because as a teacher, what I was really trying to teach is I told everyone, all my students, if you leave this grade and you have not learned critical thinking skills, I failed, because I don't really care how much you learn. I was teaching English to French kids. To me, it was much more important to teach a higher level of, media literacy, critical thinking. That was an important skill that kids needed to learn. And, about cyberbullying and what is it and how dangerous it could be. Yeah. So just to finish your question there, it was upsetting, and I'm so sorry that you're going through Vistopia. Hang out with us here. Vistopia is the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world, and I know how that feels. It's terrible, and just hang out with us.
That is a real thing as well.
And keep doing your videos, but you can learn a couple of things. I want you to go and just, when you're posting videos, try not to post the stuff that's violent. I know they need to see it. I know they need to see the pigs on the trucks. I know you want to show it so badly. I did too, but I couldn't. And that was, I think, another really frustrating thing about TikTok is that you want to tell people, that if you could just post an image of whatever, a baby chick going down going into a blender, people will get it. But because everything is taken down, you have to use words. And then they think, no, it's not really that way. It's not really happening. You're exaggerating. And so I totally feel for you. It's so hard as an animal rights activist to try to get the message out. But just be creative as much as you can. Tell the truth as much as you can. But stay on as much as you can. Because being on that app is making a massive difference, especially the more vegans there are. And sorry I'm talking so much, but I really want to emphasize, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to support other animal rights activists on something like TikTok. Like, think about your own comment section. How good does it feel when other vegans are writing great video, good job, watch Dominion, go watch Cowspiracy, and they're backing up what you're teaching, right? Some visitors who eat animals all the time see that. They're like, oh, watch this. I should watch this documentary. Okay, I'll go. So we should always be helping each other. Like, look, Trash came on this channel at the very last second because I had a cancellation. Like, that is an amazing animal rights activist. She just was like, okay, you need help? I'm here. Like, that's what we need to do for each other.
Yeah, we do. We have to stand up for each other because dystopia is very real. Yep.
Yeah.
And bullying is very real, So
here's something from Constantin. Hi. Thank you for the donation.
SpongeBob's Krabby Patties are vegan. If SpongeBob can do it, so can you. I haven't watched SpongeBob in forever, but I didn't know. Are the Krabby Patties vegan?
I guess. I trust Constantin. They must be. I see this person has been super amazing at helping in my comment section many times, and it's great. What else have we got? Oh, here.
Smoothie bowls are so healthy, a great way to eat more fruit. Yes, they are delicious, and they're easy. You can get creative with them. So,
describe what a smoothie bowl is for somebody who's just bouncing in here, Stacey, and who only eats bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
Just try to sell this concept, because I know it's hard to imagine. We're not all vegan here. Some people are like just randomly clicking. You're like, what the hell are these people talking about? So what's a smoothie bowl?
I suppose. Well, the way I make them is it's usually kind of like you would make nice cream, which is with a frozen banana base, and you can. So there's like nice cream, which you can make thick, or then there's the smoothie bowls, which is like between an ice cream and a smoothie, which is the thinnest. It's basically like making a smoothie. It's got like a frozen banana base, so it makes it nice, thick, and creamy. And then you can put in all kinds of fruits. You can even hide vegetables in there. I even make mine with chocolate and kale, because you cannot taste the kale when you put chocolate in it, and you're still getting your kale. And I mean, I like kale anyway, but it actually, the kale itself makes the chocolate taste richer. But then you can put all kinds of nuts and seeds and fruits on top of it, and it's basically like having a smoothie in a bowl. You can put whatever in there, all kinds of combinations.
Yeah, and then if it's nice and thick, you can decorate it. I always tell people to play with your food, make it look fun, not just to give to somebody else. Like, whenever I'm presenting something for my husband, I always make it look so nice and it's all pretty. But then for myself, a lot of the time, I'll just dump it on the plate. I don't have the time. But it is really nice when you make it all pretty. In your smoothie bowl, like, you put all little banana slices in a row and your little nuts, and you make a little smiley face, or I don't know, just have fun with it. And then it's like, it's so pretty. And then you want to take a picture and talk about it.
I was just going to look for a picture of one of mine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay. Oh boy, this looks like a Bible reference. That's going to be one for you to answer, Trash.
No. No, I'm not religious. I think
anybody else in the room who wants to address the religious crowd?
Book written by men.
Old books written by men. Peer pressure from dead people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it in their presence. Yeah, but it was vegan. It wasn't real fish.
And a lot of people think that the fish they refer to, like when Jesus fed them fishes and bread or something like that. That actually, the translation, what it really was, is it was some kind of seaweed or kelp that he was feeding. that if they go back, it was actually like a seaweed because the original
You know,
word could have been
first
translated wrong.
First of all, honestly, why are we keeping on referring to one particular book of all the books in history?
I agree.
Why
And
would
they
you
only
refer
do
to
it when it suits them anyway.
Yeah, they
so.
only there's so many things in the Bible, Badzilla, that I'm sure that you disagree with. So the only reason that you're writing that is because you can't be bothered to change your evil ways. You should instead of trying to blame others.
There's my
Ooh,
smoothie bowl.
Oh, it looks so pretty. What's in the middle? That's the hemp seeds?
Yeah, that's hemp seeds actually. Yeah.
Okay. So no, but seriously, you can be vegan. You don't need to talk about anything in the past or the Bible. If the Bible is telling you to hurt animals, then put it away.
There are actually vegan preachers.
Of course there are.
So it's like
There's vegans of every religion.
You know what? There's a great preacher. I'm not religious, but there's a great preacher I'm friends with on Facebook that does Facebook service every Sunday. Vegan Facebook church service.
Yeah, great. I lost the comment. Somebody wrote the lyrics of the Smoothie Bowl song that I sang. It cracks me up.
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard
Noah.
Smoothie Bowl song.
Share this song. Because I just make up random songs as I'm going. And Noah, it's so sweet of you to acknowledge my little songs. Because I'm singing songs and I'm filming on TikTok and I'm filming on Instagram, whatever. I still have an account on TikTok. I'm always opening a new one. And I just make up little songs, and because that's just what I like to do. And that's one of the lyrics to when kids or anybody shows me that they're listening to the lyrics of my songs, it just cracks me up. But yeah, I'm having a new album coming up. And
That's
we're
awesome.
working on it. And where's my paper? It has like 107. Is this it? Yeah. Look, this is our list that we're working with. There's 107 songs coming out.
I think you missed your calling in life. Like being a teacher, you should have been writing jingles the whole time.
I am writing jingles. I'm just not getting paid for it.
I was going to say, but like for commercials and stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I'm doing commercials for veganism. So what I've got here is I'm trying to write these little songs that are about 15 seconds long. Why? Because at TikTok, the main default time is 15 seconds. So when I used to write the 1-minute songs, which I still do, but what would happen is people would use the song, but they'd cut it off often before it got to the punchline. So I was like, damn, that's not good. I have to really try to get my message in 15 seconds. So that's some fast singing. Or you got to be creative with how you're going to. So what I wanted to do also is to make it easy, because there are a lot of teenagers who are not allowed to show their faces or who don't want to. Or like 13. So I wanted to come up with a whole bank of songs that they can use. They know the song in their head. They go through the thing. You're on TikTok and you type in Bad Vegan Teacher Miss Katie. And then you see all my songs there and you choose one depending on where you are. So let's say you're in the grocery store or you're about to buy ice cream and you see vegan ice cream. So you should be able to film the vegan ice cream, the cone that you have, and use the song, something, buy vegan ice cream, it's delicious, whatever. And then, share this song and be vegan from now on, whatever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But I also have all different ones. I'm trying to compose. I'm thinking of every possible scenario, but also a comeback to every possible argument on TikTok. If people start posting all the bacon emojis, okay, that's their answer. They're like, fuck you, I'm eating bacon, right?
Bacon dough.
So what do you respond to that? Well, you need a jingle, right? Oh, you're eating bacon. I haven't composed that one yet, but you're eating bacon, but hey, why don't you eat beans instead? We
can make bacon out of shiitake mushrooms. Really easy.
Yeah, right. So, or Google, bacon shiitake version, something.
Yeah, I made some one time. Took them to work, and I gave them to a coworker, and I said, "What do you think this is?" And they said, "Bacon bits." I said, "Nope, those are mushrooms." They went, "No way!"
Right?
How did you do that?
Exactly. So so that's it. Thank you for Noah. And thank you, Noah. And I don't know if you wanted me to tell this to everybody, but I know Noah's having a hard time. He lives in a house with non-vegans, and he's a teenager. And Noah, I do think about you. I think about all the students who that are like you. It's really hard for me to get everybody straight because there's so many kids that are writing to me, And they not like, now he uses a name, Vegan Noah. That helps me so much. I know his name's Noah. I know he's vegan. I know he's not a fake whatever.
No, I just make sure that you build a community, a strong community to support you online that you can go to and talk to of vegans. Maybe even if you're like 15, 16, even if you're like 13, you're old enough to join Anonymous for the Voiceless chapter if you have one. And if you want to get together with activists or just see what kind of activism is going on, see if you need permission from your parents, see if your parents will let you go do some activism. It helps to meet people and build kind of a family. So
yeah. So what do we have here?
Do you want me to read that? Miss Katie, everyone at school bullies me for being vegan. They call me vegan teacher. I don't take it as an insult, but it hurts most when my friends bully me too. I'm in year 8. I'm 12. Oh, you're very young. Oh, darling, I wish I knew what to tell you because school was hard on me and I wasn't vegan. So people are just bullies in school. I don't have any advice, Miss Katie. Maybe you do.
I would say that I don't know who and what kind of bullying you're going through. If it's really bad, you need to talk about it. It's okay to talk about it. It is okay to make a big deal out about it and call it what it is. If you really feel that it is directed at you and it's intentionally mean. Now, what might happen is you're going to go to the principal's office and you're going to say, I am a victim of vegan phobia. These kids are picking on me, and if I was gay if they did what they're doing because I was gay, you would never tolerate it. You would haul them into the office and you would suspend them. Or if they were making the remarks that they are because I'm Black, you would never tolerate it. So why are you tolerating these things that these kids are doing just because I'm vegan? It's not okay. So you need to be firm and know that it's not okay. Now, at the same time, you got to be a little bit tough. It's true. You got to find a way to get around it. I'm not saying you should laugh it off necessarily, but, be proud of it yourself. Own it. Say, yeah, you think I'm that vegan teacher? Damn right I am. And go home and paint that vegan teacher on your shirt. Walk into school with your own, right? The new vegan teacher or whatever your name is, Lara.
You really do have to develop a thick skin sometimes. I mean, I was a punk rocker in school, and that was in the 80s, so it wasn't like anybody has pink hair nowadays.
Really? Because I sort of pictured you to be a nun in high school. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, I bet you were too. But but
actually, I was pretty good. I was a really good goody two shoes. I was pretty good. I was pretty good in school. Not
you
good.
might have looked like it.
No, but I was. I never skipped school or did anything bad. But
I used to be like an honor roll student until I started going to punk rock shows at 14. But yeah, so I got a lot of bullying, but I just toughened up. I mean, I know you can't just say just toughen up. I understand. No. It's hard sometimes. I wish I had more advice. I just, kids are jerks. I'm sorry.
That's but it's not, what the problem is, Lara, I think what Lara is, they're jerks, but you know what? So are adults. And they still do that type of thing.
Oh yeah.
When you're older. You can be in a lunchroom as a teacher and they
never grow up.
Like when I was working as a teacher in the school, I would I eat the same thing pretty much every day. It was always some sort of chili stew thing. It had some tofu in it. It was always looked sort of reddish because it had a lot of tomato and it was delicious. It was spicy and it hit the spot. It had lentils in it and all kinds of veggies, rice, whatever. And they would always say, oh, you're eating the same thing again. They would always make comments about my food.
And they were probably eating the same thing from the school lunch.
And think, oh, there you're eating that vegan stuff again or whatever. But if I tried to comment back about their food, it would be like, oh, just, don't make fun of their meat or their whatever. So, I mean, it was just like, I ended up often eating by myself just because I didn't want to see the dead bodies on the table. I mean, and hopefully you'll find some people that are allies with you, Lara. But be patient with people, because they really don't understand. A lot of times they just think you're being crazy. I'm like being like a crybaby for nothing. Cause like, what do you mean? Like, it's just a piece of bacon. They just like wave it at your face. And you're like, you know that it's
Well,
a
they
dead
want to fit
body.
in. So they want to fit in is what it is. And that's why they're going to try to tease you, because they want to look like they want to take on the popular narrative that everybody else is. And that is, they don't want to stand out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of people are afraid of standing out from the crowd, and they're never, I hear an echo. They're never going to stand out from the crowd if they continue to do that. Just be proud of yourself for making your own decisions and not following the group mentality.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, what have we covered here today? We talked a little bit about Palestine and we talked a little bit about Israel. I don't have an opinion either way. I just feel like the war has been going on, the fighting for so long, that I just feel like I don't have. I mean, I listen to one side, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I listen to the other side, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I just think that what's really important is that we try to veganize everyone, no matter what side of these wars that they are on. Because if you don't believe in violence, then keep it off your plate, whatever country you're from.
Yep, I agree. I hate to see the fighting and the violence over there, and I don't really talk too much about it. And a lot of people, I think, are trying to stay out of it, especially vegans. And like I said, I do like to concentrate. I do have an opinion on it, but I like to concentrate on the animals. Um, but yeah, I mean, look into it, and if people out there listening don't understand it or don't know what's going on, look into it. And I suggest looking on all sides of it before you make any kind of decision of where you stand.
Vegan Noah, once you become an animal rights activist, he's asking me also, when's your new CD coming out? When's your new Spotify songs coming out? I think he's memorized all my songs. Veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds, put them in your shopping cart. Peace begins on your plate. So open up your heart.
I wish I could sing. I'm a horrible singer.
But you don't need to. You can rap, right? I just rap that,
I'm not so good at that either.
Anyways, I have a new one coming out about Gordon Ramsay. It's a full rap. It's like 4 minutes long. It's basically telling him exactly how I feel.
I'm sure he's gonna love that. Hey, don't hold back on him. He's a jerk.
At the same time, I don't want to get canceled from. I had to tone it down a bit, but yeah. So thank you everybody for coming to our live tonight. I apologize for the guest who wasn't able to show up, but thank you so much to Trash. I hate saying that, Trash Carcass.
It's okay.
God, I hate that name. Stacy is so much prettier.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for contacting me. I appreciate
for coming on. And if you guys have not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. There's a little button down there somewhere and you'll get notifications. We really appreciate your support. And also go to Trash Carcass's channel. Have a look at her amazing videos where she talks to different vegans around the world. And have a great rest of the day, wherever you are in the world. Great Monday. And we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone. Bye, Stacy.
See you later.